Just on just on the strikers, Vincent. You mentioned Negredo and the other strikers. They haven't scored, I think, in 7 games, Negredo and Dzeko, and of course Aguero is just coming back from the injury. How much of a concern is that your strikers aren't scoring with the frequency that they were early on in the season?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I'm just really happy that they're on my side, to be honest. They're great strikers, and I'm always. I don't really like to say we don't score because the strikers are out of form or we concede a lot of goals because the defenders are not doing well. It's always a team effort, and obviously, if we scored more in the beginning of the season, it's probably because we played better in the beginning of the season. And as much can be said about defensive performances, whether they're good or bad. But looking towards the future, it's always one of them, and it could be tomorrow. It might just be tomorrow, and if it is, then just get up, lead in the game, and the dynamics of the game will change. I'm convinced, but it's obviously one of the toughest players in the world to come and try and achieve something like this.
Yeah, Anil Muminovic from TV3 Sport Denmark. How much responsibility do you have to take when Pellegrini isn't with you at the sideline as a captain?
I guess it's a first for me. I played 10 years and I've always been used of having the manager in the dressing room before the game. But if there's anything I've learned is that you're always a stronger team when everybody's there. Manager's part of the team as much as any other player. But ultimately, it's the kind of games where you don't need too much extra motivation. So I would presume that the message will be clear for everyone before we even get to the stadium. And from that moment on, everybody knows what they have to do.
Vince, you're talking about the strikers. How important is your role tomorrow as defender?
My role is, it's an important role, obviously. The manager still has to pick the team, by the way, so let's wait for that. But my role will be important if obviously I'm playing tomorrow. And it's one of those games where I like to focus on my strikers because I know that if they score, we have a chance. And that's what we need tomorrow. But it's obviously one of those games where everyone has to be at their best, as much the defenders as the fullbacks, as the wingers. You won't really achieve anything here if you have any passengers. But we've done it before, performance-wise. And that's what we're trying to get out of everyone for tomorrow.
Vinny, two questions actually. Just to pick up on what you said then, you said we've done it before. Have you really done something like this before, though, to come to a place like this and win to go through? I know you won it at Munich, but this would be a one-off result, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but football is made out of nights like this. That's why we play football. But I think emotionally, I know it's a tough ask, but emotionally you won't really beat what we've experienced probably on the day that we beat QPR. And if anything should give you belief about chasing lost causes, then it should be that day. And our team is stronger this year around than it was before. So we're progressing every year. We're seeing it this year as well. We'll look better in the Champions League. So we're here to try and have one of those special nights. We have to.
And you said that a goal can change the dynamic of a game, which of course it can. Does that mean that the plan would be to try and come out and jump all over Barcelona rather like they jumped all over you in the first 15 minutes at your stadium?
Well, it depends. I mean, it's looking at things, conceding a goal for us tomorrow is not as bad as not scoring, really. Because, I still think that we'll have to score over the period of even 90 minutes or 120 minutes, we'll have to score 3 goals. That's what it's about. So I would say that we have a chance to come here and say, okay, we don't have anything to lose and we can think forward. But then again, it's all about that first goal. If we get a lead, then I believe that the dynamics of the games will change. And, it's one thing to say you want to score 2 or 3 goals, but to say that we can't have a lead here, I think no one would put money on that.
How much talk has there been about your approach in terms of getting the balance right between attack and defence, and is that what it's all about?
Yeah, but it's a philosophy in the end, success has been achieved in many ways. Teams play like team plays defensive minded, they can win stuff. Team play offensive minded, they can win stuff as well. Our philosophy won't change, and if it ever looks any different, it's because we're not playing well enough. So I think if we press high and if we are aggressive, I mean, then we can be a good team offensively and defensively. But obviously, it's all depending on how well we apply ourselves to what we want to do.
Next question. All done?
At the back there.
One at the back. I think this will be in Spanish.
Thank you. What was Manuel Pellegrini telling you guys all these days, all this previous day, to turn out the situation, to change this difficult situation?
I mean, it's like anything. Anybody in the team believes it before we even start this trip. You know, it's in our own hands, basically. We're coming out on the pitch tomorrow. We've got to do the job, and if we lose, it's because they are better than us, and if we win, it's because, you know, we are better than them. But it's in our own hands, and that's the good thing. And so I guess that the message to everyone is that we have to believe. You know, not just for ourselves, but also, you know, we have probably more than 5,000 fans traveling tomorrow who still come here hoping that something might happen, witnessing something special. And that's what we believe in. That's what we have to believe in, you know. It's our job to believe in this as well.
Okay, guys, last two questions. Richard and then
Vincent,
Mark.
how encouraged are you by Barcelona's sort of, should we say, slip in form? They've lost 3 of their last 6 La Liga games. Does that give you some encouragement that they're perhaps not the force they were?
No, it's one of them. As I said, it's tricky. You focus on that, you think you have a chance, and then all of a sudden the beast wakes up, you know. It's football. But we need that kind of thing as well on our side. I mean, anything can happen in football. So as much as it means that Barcelona could be at their best tomorrow, it also means that a surprise could happen, because anything can happen in football.
Vincent, do you feel that your performance at the Etihad, when prior to the sending off, you restricted Barcelona to very few chances, is that something you can take confidence from?
Yeah, we watched the game over, so it's not like any of us doesn't know what really happened at that game. I've said it before, it was comfortable up until the point where we went down to 10 men, and all of a sudden it became a very, very difficult task. But I think there was, at times we showed that we were capable of matching them, but we never really showed how good we were, you know, and that was disappointing. So obviously this year, this is maybe our last chance to show how good we are, and that's the message as well again for the team. That's what we need to try and do tomorrow.
Okay, guys, thank you. I'm just going to return with Ruben Casillas in a few moments.
Thank you, guys.